Southeastern Conference football. Headlines, heroes, and the Heisman. Featuring the Kentucky Wildcats. The Louisiana State Tigers. The Florida Gators. The Georgia Bulldogs. The Alabama Crimson Tide. The Auburn Tigers. The Ole Miss Rebels. The Mississippi State Bulldogs. The Vanderbilt Commodores. And the Tennessee Volunteers.
Dickey back to pass. He's got Swanson all by himself. Touchdown, Tennessee. How sweet it is as the Volunteers are headed for the Sugar Bowl.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Headlines, Heroes, and the Heisman. Our look back at the 1985 SEC football season. This is Bob Neal, along with Tim Foley. And Tim, even before the season started, we talked about the balance of power in the league this year.
We had predicted one of the closest races in SEC history, and that's exactly what we saw. Due to a couple of ties, there were 5 teams in the conference race with only 2 weeks left to go in the season. And once again, the champion wasn't crowned until the final week of play.
It was an exciting and a successful season. And you have to look at the earmarks of success for the entire conference. For instance, during the season, 2 SEC teams were ranked #1 in the nation by the Associated Press poll.
Right, and 5 SEC teams will be in postseason bowls. And that doesn't count Florida, who finished 9-1-1.
And even Mississippi State, which went 0-6 in the SEC, was undefeated outside the league. And that included a 30-3 rout of Cherry Bowl-bound Syracuse.
And when the sports writers gathered in New York to select the #1 football player in America, their choice was Auburn's Bo Jackson.
And it was a very close race for Bo Jackson. As a matter of fact, some doubters cropped up mid-season when some injuries forced Bo to miss a couple of games. And as I recall...
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do. You were one of those doubters, and you made some comments about it in our telecast of the Mississippi-Tennessee game.
That's exactly right. And this is how I felt at that time. Yeah, I think that Bo Jackson was a runaway leader in the Heisman. If you'd voted before the season started, he'd have won. And had some real good games early against teams that weren't very strong. And, of course, he's got an excellent media staff there that supported his candidacy, David Housel. But I'm not sure that his play this year deserves the Heisman Trophy. And I'm not going to come off that statement, Bob. That's how I felt at that point in time in the season. Due to injuries, his performance had been hampered against Tennessee and against Florida. But fortunately, he finished strong against Georgia and Alabama, and I think those 2 performances more truly reflect his caliber and style of play.
And Bo himself offered rebuttal to the criticism after he received the Heisman Trophy in New York.
The only thing that I can say about that is I know what I can do, and I am not a quitter. And if I feel that it's necessary for me to take myself out of competition, it's not because I'm a coward.
Viewers of Turner Network Television got their first look at Jackson in the season opener against Southwestern Louisiana. And what a show he put on. 290 yards and 4 touchdowns as the Tigers routed USL 49-7. The fast start confirmed the fears of Auburn's opponents that Bo Jackson was back.
This year, the Heisman Trophy, it's in the back of my mind. I'm just going to go out and just play football. Go out and play reckless football this fall.
Reckless football. That was an understatement for the way Bo played in October. 240 yards against Ole Miss opened the month. Next up was Florida State and 176 yards against a rugged Seminole defense. And the next week, while trailing Georgia Tech, Bo brought the Tigers back with this 76-yard run and 242 yards overall. For the month, 4 games, 827 yards, 7 TDs, and a perfect record for Auburn. But then came Florida, a season-low 48 yards and a thigh bruise that kept him out of the second half, raised doubts about Jackson's Heisman qualifications. But just 2 weeks later against Georgia, Bo gave the performance that many think won him the trophy. 19 carries, 121 yards, and 2 touchdowns against the #1 rushing defense in the conference. The season finale against Alabama was just as spectacular. 142 yards, another 2 touchdowns. And for all intents and purposes, the Heisman was his. The combination of world-class speed, bullish power, and natural grace that Bo Jackson possesses also makes him a force on the baseball field. Which career he'll pursue is still a question mark. But for SEC football fans, the gridiron memories he created in 1985 will last a lifetime. Our congratulations go out to the 1985 Heisman Trophy winner, Vincent Bo Jackson.
Although the nation's highest honor went to Bo Jackson, there are several other athletes in the SEC that performed their way into the headlines in 1985. And the best place to start our look at 1985's headline grabbers is right behind Bo Jackson in the Auburn backfield. Junior Brent Fullwood, playing the entire season as a backup to Bo, made the best of his opportunities, finishing the season as the 4th leading rusher in the conference with a stellar 6.8-yard average gain. Runners-up to Bo in the final rushing stats were LSU's Dalton Hilliard, the Tigers' all-time leading rusher, and Neil Anderson of Florida, who turned the same trick for the Florida Gators. At the quarterback position, Mississippi State's Don Smith led the league in total offense, running and passing for almost 3,000 yards. He'll return next year, as will Florida's Kerwin Bell, who led all SEC passers with 21 touchdown passes and a passing efficiency rating that was 2nd in the nation. Also back next year will be Alabama's Mike Shula, the most improved quarterback in the nation in 1985, finishing 5th in passing efficiency. That old cliche, "it ain't over till it's over," was never truer than it was at Alabama this year, as Shula displayed his mastery of the 2-minute offense. And assisting Shula in his heroics was flanker Al Bell, a junior college transfer who specialized in the big play this year for the Crimson Tide. But the best receiver in the conference was Tennessee's Tim McGee, a man whose ability is only surpassed by his enthusiasm for the game.
Well, my dream play, I think it'd have to be a screen pass where I'm getting all the attention, meaning I'm doing all the running, break a couple of tackles, and just all kinds of things happening, and end up in the end zone for the game-winning touchdown with 1 second left on the game. We win Sugar Bowl. You know, little kid dream.
Great athletes and great teams make for a great conference race. And we'll have a look at the 1985 race to the finish right after this.
After the baby, I didn't want to go back on the pill. We had to find a good alternative.
Semisid contraceptive inserts, one of the most convenient forms of birth control next to the pill.
After a while, my doctor said to give my body a break from hormones.
Semisid works without hormones. It has the spermicide doctors recommend most.
Now that I'm older and wiser, I use Semisid.
Discover Semisid for birth control. It's a great alternative.
Who leaves a shine so shiny you have to ask?
Is it wet?
No, it's dry.
A shine so shiny you have to ask.
Is it wet?
Nope, it's dry.
Who leaves the shine without streaking, without rinsing?
So convincing.
Is it wet? Is it dry?
You know the answer, you know the guy.
Mr. Clean is the man.
Mr. Clean is the man behind that shine. Is it wet?
Or is it dry?
Oh, I wish I had a picture.
I'm too scared to take pictures.
And I'm not smart enough.
Anyone can take great pictures with Minolta's 35mm autofocus compact, Minolta Freedom 2 for decision-free pictures, and Minolta Talker for words of wisdom.
Too dark. Use flash.
Both are autofocus, auto everything.
Hey, Dorothy.
Minolta Freedom 2 and Talker, autofocus wizardry.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Perry Mason loses first case.
Can it be true? Perry Mason, America's lawyer, loses a case?
Extra bonus, color edition.
And you'll see the only color episode of Perry Mason. Host Barbara Hale, alias Della Street, shares her all-time favorite case and reveals some little-known facts.
Perry Mason, America's lawyer.
8:05 Eastern, exclusively on the Superstation, Monday night.
Welcome back. Press boxes like this one were our vantage point for SEC football this fall.
And we probably had the best seat in the house, too. That is, unless you were at home watching the game on Turner Network Television.
We followed Tennessee's stretch drive closely, broadcasting their final 4 conference games. But a lot of things had to happen early for the Vols to be in a position to make their move.
And it all started one night between the hedges.
As Alabama visited Georgia to kick things off, and as expected, a defensive struggle ensued. The Tide's Cornelius Bennett seemed to be everywhere at once, but in the waning moments, in typical Bulldog fashion, Georgia came up with a big play. Terry Webster blocking this punt, and Calvin Ruff recovering it for a touchdown and a 16-13 Georgia lead. But it was not to be the Bulldogs' night. With less than a minute to play, Mike Shula marched the Tide down the field in 5 plays. The capper, this 24-yard strike to Al Bell. Final score, 20-16. Up in Knoxville, Tennessee coach Johnny Majors was preparing for Auburn, the #1 rated team in the nation. But the Volunteer defense sprang an ambush. 3 first-half Auburn turnovers gave Tennessee just too many chances. And quarterback Tony Robinson took advantage of the Tigers' secondary, throwing this 38-yarder to Tim McGee that made it 14-0 Volunteers. And in the second half, with Bo Jackson on the sidelines with an injury, Auburn just could not keep the ball out of Robinson's hands. This touchdown pass to Carl Swanson put the finishing touches on a very sweet 38-20 upset win. On to Baton Rouge, where LSU and Florida met in another crucial early season tilt. For Florida, John L. Williams provided all the scoring they needed with this 29-yard touchdown run, as the Gators were awesome defensively, shutting out the Tigers on their home field 20-0.
I know I read the first press release, and they're picking Mississippi State for dead last, picking us 10th, and I'm picking us for first. And so that's the way it's going to be, and because we're going after it.
Early on, it seemed Coach Ballard was a prophet as State rolled over Syracuse 30-3. But after dropping their conference opener to Florida, the Bulldogs took themselves out of contention with a 33-19 loss to Kentucky. State would finish 0-6 in the conference and dismiss Ballard following the season. At Vanderbilt, hopes weren't exactly high for the season, so you can imagine the delight for Commodore fans when Georgia was held to a 13-13 tie. But the doors were brought back to earth the following week when Ole Miss quarterback Ken Austin led the Rebels to their only conference victory, teaming here with super sophomore J.R. Ambrose for 6 of their 35 points. The opening SEC skirmishes made the Tennessee-Alabama game a crossroads, and the Volunteers led early when Charles Wilson scored from a yard out. But Johnny Majors would not like what was about to happen. On the first play of the fourth quarter, Tony Robinson went back to pass for the last time in 1985. The resulting knee injury stifled the Vols' offense and gave Bama one last shot. With time running out, Van Tippen teed up a 56-yard field goal attempt, but the kick was short, and Tennessee had a critical 16-14 win. Down at Auburn, the Tigers were trying to mend themselves against undefeated Florida State. But early on, it looked as though the Seminoles would stay undefeated. Darren Holloman scored on a reverse. Then Tony Smith ran it in from the 2. But Auburn, the sleeping giant, finally woke up. Freddie Wagan gave FSU a dose of their own medicine, scoring on this 14-yard reverse. And after that, the defense took over. 2 interceptions were returned for touchdowns in the final 6 minutes, including this one by Kevin Porter from 33 yards out. And when the dust had settled, Auburn was the victor in a big 59-27 way. The next big showdown for the Tigers came against rival Florida. The undefeated Gators took a 7-3 lead when Kerwin Bell found Ray McDonald from 4 yards out. But in the fourth quarter, Pat Washington led a stirring Auburn drive, scoring himself to give the Tigers back the lead. Back came the Gators, though, scoring with just over 7 minutes left as Bell found McDonald again. Auburn would get 3 more tries, but the Florida defense slammed the door on each one. The victory vaulted the Gators to the #1 national ranking, but the Georgia Bulldogs would end that the next week. Georgia did it by running on a Gator defense that Auburn couldn't. Freshman tailback Keith Henderson scored on this 76-yard run that shocked Florida fans. Meanwhile, on defense, the Dogs shut the Gators down. Although Kerwin Bell would throw for over 400 yards, Florida could find no rushing attack and would score just 3. And Henderson's freshman stablemate, Tim Worley, put the final nail in Florida's coffin with this 90-yard run. And suddenly, Georgia was back in the SEC hunt. Enter Auburn. Bo Jackson set the tone with a 68-yard TD scamper as the Tigers sought to re-enter the nation's top 10. Later in the first half, it was shades of the FSU game as Freddie Wagan took a reverse in for the score. The Bulldogs had opportunities to come back, but the Auburn defensive secondary came up with several big plays as Auburn held on 24-10. Back in Baton Rouge, the Tigers were sitting pretty with just one conference loss. And when Gary James busted loose on this 49-yard touchdown run, it looked like they might stay that way. But Alabama came back, using a little razzle-dazzle as Mike Shula caught a pass from Gene Jokes to tie the score at 14-all. The Tigers' Ron Lewis had a chance to pull it out on the game's final play, but his 25-yard field goal try was no good. The 14-14 tie kept both teams a half game behind Tennessee. And next for Alabama was state rival Auburn. The grudge match went down to the wire to no one's surprise. With just over a minute left, Reggie Ware gave Auburn a 1-point lead. But Mike Shula wasn't through. He hit Greg Richardson to move the ball upfield and give Van Tiffen one final try. Tiffen, the Tide's all-time leading kicker, let loose a 52-yard attempt that nearly caused a tidal wave as it sailed through the uprights to give Bama a 25-23 victory. And even though the outcome gave Bama state bragging rights, it could not get them into the Sugar Bowl. That right belonged to Tennessee, who control their own destiny down the stretch. They destroyed Ole Miss 34-14 for their third conference victory. Next up was Kentucky, shut out by the improving Vols as quarterback Darrell Dickey finally got the offense in high gear. And finally, state rival Vanderbilt. Again, Dickey found Tim McGee for a TD, the third straight game they had teamed for a score. And the defense notched its second straight shutout as the Vols captured the conference crown 30-0.
Really a courageous team. You know, you've talked about that in the past, how this team has responded to adversity and has really overcome every obstacle that's been placed in their way.
Well, it's the most unique football team I've ever been around, and the stingiest as far as making mistakes and as opportunistic football teams I've ever been around. We've had to, as we talk about football, it's a great example of you're no better than your weakest link. We lost a big link in our chain. We got some rust on it occasionally, but everybody that came through there did their job. You take Darrell Dickey, fifth-year senior, Chris White, a fantastic fifth-year senior that hadn't played very much. Jeff Powell, a fourth-year senior, his first year, and many, many instances like that where somebody just came through and just pleasantly pleased us.
When we return, we'll give you a look at the offbeat side of the SEC, which will really get your motor running.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Sundays mean great American movies on the Superstation. World War II on the American home front was a special time, a time of patriotism and sacrifice.
May I get a war job?
You certainly may not. You're going to college.
Claudette Colbert, Jennifer Jones, and Shirley Temple, Since You Went Away. Then, Rock Hudson and Jane Wyman become entwined in a magnificent obsession. It all begins at 1:25 Eastern on the Superstation, Sunday.
The Superstation New Year resolution. Take a peek at January, and you'll see that it means more great American television. January 8th, the Superstation pays a birthday tribute to the King, Elvis Presley, in two memorable performances, Easy Come, Easy Go, and GI Blues. January 14th sets sail for adventure with Jacques Cousteau as he seeks to revolutionize oceanic travel. A Superstation exclusive, Cousteau, Wind Ship, Riders of the Wind. Followed by the silent screams of abused children. Who do they turn to for help? Daniel J. Travani narrates, to protect the children. And January 15th and 16th, a stunning adaptation of a Louis L'Amour classic.
Killing don't mix well with a man's supper.
Tom Selleck and Sam Elliott are the Sacketts. And beginning January 18th, the Superstation is proud to present an unparalleled celebration of the American spirit.
Don't you let Pawnee on our land again, ever! This land is McKeeg's and mine.
Robert Conrad, Richard Chamberlain, Lynn Redgrave, Gregory Harrison, and Brian Keith. One of the most powerful miniseries ever produced, Centennial. And January 30th.
Don't
Hepburn and Bogart in John Huston's unforgettable The African Queen. And John Wayne leads those fearless warriors known as the Green Berets. Next month, celebrate a new year of great American television with Superstation WTBS.
So much of the college football experience takes place away from the line of scrimmage. And oftentimes, the unique ways in which fans choose to express their enthusiasm are stories in themselves.
And if you think things were wild on the football field this year, then get ready for this tour of offbeat SEC. Let's start in the state of Alabama, where an entrepreneur has managed to make fans of Alabama and Auburn happy. No small undertaking at that. How? By providing eternal rest in the designer coffin of your choice. The Crimson Tide model, or the loveliest coffin under the plains, if you will.
At Florida, probation may have kept the Gators off TV and ineligible for the conference title, but it didn't keep Gator fans from expressing their own musical protest.
I should have learned to throw the football. I should have learned to hit that block. Look at that lineman, looking in the camera. He's got a jag in the parking lot. Look at that. What's that? I hear noises. The NCAA's coming down on me. That ain't right. That's the way to do it. Money for nothing, tickets for free. We got to set some big-time example. An example for everyone to see. We got to prove it on the field. #1 without live TV.
In the Kentucky game, the Gators were buzzed by a World War II vintage B-25 bomber, an event that cost the pilot his license and caused the players on the field to forget about football momentarily. At Georgia, the Bulldogs, no less, took on an international flavor. Witness these two "How about them dogs" greetings.
At Kentucky, basketball managed to creep inside the football stadium as Wildcat fans used the opportunity to protest an anti-UK basketball article in the local Lexington paper. And at LSU, a problem with bugs. It seems athletic director Bob Broadhead set up equipment to monitor conversations in the LSU athletic offices, an act that bugged most everybody working there.
At Ole Miss, a painful 4-6-1 season for the Rebels was even more painful for linebacker Reed Killian, who lost his girlfriend, Susan Aiken, to the footlights of Atlantic City, where she was crowned Miss America. And at Mississippi State, fireworks put a damper on the homecoming celebration. It seems the explosions took their toll on some of the alumni's cars in the parking lot.
At Tennessee, first a couple of fans who went the extra mile. Darren Miller's parents attended every volunteer home game, traveling from their Flemington, New Jersey home to each one on their motorcycles.
Born to be wild.
And a contest with a catch. A Knoxville TV station and newspaper co-sponsored a drawing to win a trip for two to the Sugar Bowl. And emerging as the winner from over 200,000 entries was Larry Correll. Only problem was, Mr. Correll is serving time for second-degree murder and won't be eligible for release until the year 2009. Happily, a $1,000 cash gift was given to Mr. Correll's family, and the Sugar Bowl trip re-awarded. And at Vanderbilt, Commodore fans earned a spot in the Guinness Book of World Records when 40,000 of them joined the Oak Ridge Boys in a rendition of Elvira on the kazoo.
1, 2, 3.
And that is about as off-key, make that off-beat, as it gets.
You have such hopes and dreams for the future, and so many plans. Plans that you can start making a reality now. That's what Money Magazine is all about. Making the most of your money for now and the future. Because whether you're just starting out or you've started a family already, your future will be here before you know it. Money. It shows you how to get the most out of today from financing your home to making your first investments. So you're ready for the challenges ahead. With money, you won't be caught unprepared as your family grows before your eyes, because you'll have planned your financial growth with theirs by learning how to make money in real estate and mutual funds, saving on taxes, and even what to do with a hot stock tip. So when it's time for your children to build their own future, they'll have the help and support they'll need. Money tells you how to get low interest on college loans, high interest on your IRA, and how to build financial security. So with Money, you'll be ready for the richest years of your life. Start profiting from Money now by calling toll-free 1-800-525-2300. It can show you how to ease your tax bite, where to put your savings, and how to invest and win. Money covers everything from saving to spending, starting your own business to retirement. Every month, at every stage of your life, you can benefit from Money's extensive financial coverage. And if you call right now, you can get 9 issues for 4 easy installments of just $5.62. We'll even send you Money's financial advisor, free. A 3-volume portfolio on tax savings, profitable investments, and a worry-free retirement. Plus, each year Money includes special reports on taxes, mutual funds, and the best investments for the year. So call now, 1-800-525-2300. Because no matter where you are in life, the future is no time to plan for your future.
Stay with us, Superstation. Next, get set to rock the night away to the hottest music video hits on Night Track's Chartbusters, right here on Superstation WTBS.
Well, Bob, that's it. It's been a great year, and I'd just like to thank the players, coaches, fans, and the crew that made our weekly telecast and this show possible.
Tim, I can't think of a better way to end it than by saying thank you to all the folks who work so hard to make our job so enjoyable. We thank you for joining us this year, and with that note of gratitude, we'll say we'll see you next season.